Shai, Basham Rakal Kodash, belongs to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to the Akim out there in the highways and the byways, pushing this word in all sincerity and in all truth. Alright, this is Brother Kabash. Alright, so we're going to briefly touch into just an update, and what's going on as it relates to digital identities, right, and cashless payments. It's just a few articles just bringing out some updates, some improvements that the so-called white man has made, or some advancements that the so-called white man has made in setting up a system of digital identities, right, and on a cashless society. Because brothers have been teaching for the past couple of years, especially in recent months. We've been bringing out, especially ID 2020, the Vision 2030 for the UN, United Nations Development Program, where they want every country to have a digital identity in place for its population, and also the push for a cashless system to be set up in every country, right? And we've been bringing this out just so if notify people that the whole idea is to create a digital framework for the entire globe, right? A framework for digital identification and a framework for a digital economy, right? And when you have both of those things on a digital platform, then it's easier for a global integration of the RFID microchip, secure, a so-called open ledger, where all information can be accessed by. Right. Sorry about that. Yeah. So we're just gonna bring out what is ID 2020 first of all, right? And then we get into it. Alright, you have a precept?
Let's read this precept.
Alright, go on.
This is 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11. It says, "Least Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices."
Right, because when they introduce certain things like this, like cashless payments for certain goods and services, when they introduce the benefits of a national ID that is digital based, a lot of people will run to it and say, yeah, this sounds good, this will improve my life, this will bring convenience, and really, but they don't see the trap that's set before them. They don't, even our government, or most governments that are putting in place a digital identity system for its population, they don't really see the trap where they must set for both themselves and them country. Right? Because with a digital identity in place, or digital framework in place for your national ID, right, what you're doing is basically increasing regulation on the population. Right? So it's easier to regulate the citizens, and it's easier to control them, right, as it relates to fraudulent economic activities, collecting taxes, keeping track of criminals and things like that, Saying so it's actually a trap. Right? There's no way you can get away from the government. ESA can easily know your whereabouts, know the things that you're interested in, know the type of goods and services you buy. See, so it's a trap basically. So the scripture says we are not ignorant of Satan's devices. We know that all of this is going to culminate in the so-called white man bringing out the mark of the beast, which is the RFID microchip in full-fledged. We know that all of this is just leading up to that, right? So the scripture says we are not ignorant of his devices, right?
So let's get into the article. This is an article from ID2020.org. It says, why an alliance? It says the ID 2020 Alliance is a global partnership committed to improving lives through digital identity.
No, the ID 2020 is an initiative that was set up, a couple of years back. And the idea is to get all nations to have a digital framework for their national ID by the year 2020. Right, so it's a global initiative, and it's partnered by a lot of countries, and especially by the UN, United Nations. Right? Go on.
Right. It says this alliance of governments, NGOs, and the private sector will work to ensure that the digital development is informed by the needs of countries and individuals, and that policies and standards reflect the latest technological innovations. By coordinating funding for identity and channeling those funds towards high-impact projects, this alliance models and enables diverse stakeholders, UN agencies, NGOs, governments, and enterprises to pursue a coordinated approach and create a pathway for efficient implementation at scale.
Exactly. Right, so you have a bunch of these companies coming together, notably UN agencies, as it states, right, and governments coming together, right, to create this international digital framework of identification, you know, right, and one of their main arguments is that over 1 billion people on the earth right now don't have identification, meaning they're off the grid. If somebody don't have any form of identification, there's no way for our government to track their expenses, to track their movement, and these things, yo. Right? So when everybody have a digital identity, right? Not only just a normal identity, a digital identity, it's easier to keep track of what that person is doing in your country. Right? It's easier to collect taxes from them, right? And it's easier to regulate the things where they spend their money on. Exactly. Right, so for example, if you know that a certain person is committing criminal offenses, like money laundering, it's a simple thing, to block their digital identity, yo. To put a block on their digital identity so that them can't do businesses with either private sectors, or government agencies, yo. So let's get to the first article.
So this is an article from Globe Newswire. It says WineSki. The title of the article is WineSki fully deployed its certified ID integrating the digital identity with blockchain technology.
Right.
So, reading in, it says WineSki fully deployed its certified ID integrating digital identity with blockchain technology. Certified ID acts as a digital identity, dual-factor authentication-based technology that sits on top of a blockchain. On top of a blockchain.
Right, and right now, a lot of your social media applications are using dual-factor identification. Facebook is doing it, where they ask you for a password and they send a text or a code to your phone. You know, Instagram doing it, WhatsApp doing it, and a lot of these email servers are doing it as well.
And some banks use it when you make digital transactions.
Some banks use it when you're making digital transaction, because when you have a dual-factor authentication, it increases privacy. Right, so this one now sits on top of a blockchain, right? So that means that it's a distributed ledger, right? So it's more transparent. You can everybody on the blockchain can see all the transactions that take place within that digital framework, right? So when your digital identification is a part of a blockchain, right? That means the government and everybody else that has a stakeholder in that digital identification framework can know the transaction that take place. There's nothing that you can do that's not visible on the blockchain, right? That's the whole idea of the blockchain. It's an open ledger, right? Every chain that's made in the blockchain must be verified by every other chain that's already in the link. So it's impossible to create a fraudulent transaction within a chain of blockchain, because each block in chain is basically a replica of each other. So if one block in the chain, Salakia, is corrupted or have some kind of illegal activity, right? Then the other blocks in the chain will know that, and you can easily see that there's a discrepancy in this one. We could fix it or get it out of the chain. So there's no way to go around the system with where they're coming up with you. So certified ID is so the company is WineSki, right? And the ID that they're coming up with is certified ID, right? And this is going to actually be implemented in certain countries. So let's jump down to this paragraph here.
So second paragraph in the article says WineSki, a pioneer of digital identification and blockchain, is already implementing this project in several countries.
Right, so to tell you plain and simple, countries that are developing a digital identification framework is using blockchain technology to do so, right? And this is one of the main companies that's allowing them to get that technology in order to move forward with the UN 2030 agenda, or them ID 2020 agenda, Right. So it's a global initiative, A lot of people thinking that even in our country where we have the NIDs, a lot of people think that it's the Jamaican government that came up with that idea. But it's a global initiative. They're actually working after a plan that was set by the higher ups, by the elites of the society, right?
Continuing, it says, this includes previously announced partnership with the government of Andhra Pradesh, the 7th largest state in India, aiming to explore implementation of digital identity blockchain used to enhance the provision and security of citizens' identity. Right? Enhance the provision and security of citizens' identity. Position citizens at the center of gravity of government services using the WISE-Key PKI-based blockchain technology as a solution to secure government recorded data.
Right. So you read that again, brother?
It says, let me start back at, it said, digital,
This includes.
alright, it said this includes the previously announced partnership with the government of Andhra Pradesh, the 7th largest state in India, aiming to explore implementation of digital identity blockchain used to enhance the provision and security of citizens' identity. Position citizens at the center of gravity of government services using the WISE-Key PKI-based blockchain technology as a solution to secure government recorded data.
Right. Saying so this is one of the private companies saying where they're going to use to secure your data when the government collect it, yo.
Right.
Saying so we're going to move on to just a little bit of what is the blockchain, right?
So this is from blackgeeks.com. So what is blockchain technology? The blockchain is an incorruptible digital ledger of economic transactions that can be programmed to record not just financial transactions, but virtually everything of value.
Right. So it's an incorruptible digital ledger, as I said, that's used to record anything at value, record transactions with anything at value. So it's not just your economic transactions, seeing what your health records, your digital identity, like for example your biometric data, seeing your social media records, all these things will be stored in a digital open source ledger, right? And it's a as I said before, it's a transparent ledger, right? So it's easy to keep track of the things that you do with your digital footprint, right?
And that was a quote from Dan and Alex Tapscott, authors of Blockchain Revolution, 2016. So it says, a distributed database, right? A picture as a spreadsheet that is duplicated thousands of times across a network of computers. Then imagine that this network is designed to regularly update this spreadsheet, and you have a basic understanding of the blockchain.
Right, and that's simple and self-explanatory, yo. Right, you have a single spreadsheet that keeps track of all the organization's transactions, right? And they have that duplicated a lot of time over a network, yo. So if one spreadsheet gets falsified, right, you can basically double check it with the other copies of the same spreadsheet on the network, yo. See?
Okay.
Alright, so that's the way it creates security, right?
So it continues, say information held on a blockchain exists as a shared and continually reconciled database. This is a way of using a network that has obvious benefits. The blockchain database isn't stored in any single location, meaning the records it keeps are truly public and easily verifiable. No centralized version of this information exists for a hacker to corrupt. Hosted by millions of computers simultaneously, its data is accessible to anyone on the internet.
Right. Now this idea is not going to fully translate to what they want to do on a global scale, because they won't want anybody to have access to the information saying that's on a certain blockchain. For example, if you're creating a blockchain for the digital identity for your country, saying you're going to only want certain stakeholders to have that total visibility, see? So it will be able to be controlled from a single location, see, because as the Ella Shapar has bring out, saying you have a central what you call it now, a central AI system, seeing we're gonna read into all your data, seeing and make decisions, based on your pattern and your trends, right? So all this thing we have to talk about the blockchain is it won't be centralized any at all, and it won't be controlled by a single entity. Seeing that's not true, yo. Seeing that's what they must sell you. Seeing they must sell you that in order for you to feel comfortable enough to use the blockchain technology, yo. Seeing, but the idea itself makes sense. Seeing if you have one ledger that's copied billions of times over one network, seeing if you change one of them, seeing then the other one of them can just easily use to reconcile and say, all right, here one problem in this. Seeing, but the transparency is a thing where the government are going to use for always keep track of your movements, always keep track of your transactions, yo. Seeing, so going to the real ID.
So yeah. So this is an article from my twin tiers.
Twin tiers.
Twin tiers. Real ID required by 2020. So continuing, say if you want to fly within the United States using your New York State issued license or ID card, you will need a real ID or enhanced driver license starting October 1st, 2020. According to Chemok County Clerk Katie Hughes, you will need this real ID if you plan to travel abroad. You have to get the real ID if you go abroad, and you have to border to go.
You have to border.
You have to border to go abroad. You said you are going to have your passport, of course, and that's the major thing. If you have your passport, that'll get you through anything, which is good. No, this is going to be required by 2020.
Alright, so the real ID, right, is America's version of the same digital ID, yo. See, that's basically what we want to bring out from the article. So by 2020, the same year that the ID 2020 website has on its agenda, it's the same year that now US citizens will be required to use their real ID for certain transactions after going abroad, yo. See? So we'll jump to what we have locally being implemented, which is the NIDS.
So this is from JIS.gov.jm, which is a local government Jamaican website. It says NIDs will improve governance, eGov official. Right? eGov is basically the electronic sector of the government. So they will deal with all the electronic implementation of the government, but they outsource other companies to help them with the implementation as well. It says, Head of the Data Management Department of eGov Jamaica, Walt Brown, says the National Identification System will improve governance and the administration of all public affairs. Addressing a meeting of the Rotary Club of Kingston East and Port Royal held yesterday at the Eden Gardens Wellness Center in St. Andrew, Mr. Brown explained that the NIDS is not just about providing a person with an ID card. He argued that the NIDS will significantly aid Jamaica in establishing new industries and improve efficiency of services to the people. According to Mr. Brown, with the problem of identity theft and related issues affecting international commerce, instituting a safe identification system will make the country more attractive to trade across borders. The NIDS will capture biometric data such as fingerprint and facial photograph, and is slated to become the primary source for identity verification, authentication, and assurance.
Exactly. So this are the direction that Jamaica is going towards. Right? For sure that everybody is on the same path, yo. Every government is on the same path. We just read for America, they want a real ID get implemented by 2020, right? And the NIDS is slated to come out by 2019, and more roll it out by start rolling it out by. Right?
Part of this article say how they might implement facial photograph. See? Because part of them AI systems include facial recognition technology. And when you have such data like this, it makes the artificial intelligence more meticulous, efficient, so it works more easily. See, if you carry across them agenda, control of everything. See?
Right. So we can just leave off from that, just bring out the basic idea that the NIDS is coming up. right? And now we'll read Philippines idea now. The Philippines want the same thing.
Con.
Right.
So this is an article from Rappler.com. Nothing to be afraid of. Other countries use their national IDs in countless ways. While proponents of a national ID system in the Philippines argue it will improve government services, examples from other countries show the many uses of a national ID beyond government functions. Right? It says Manila, Philippines President Rodrigo Duterte is set to sign a bill that will put in place the Philippine identification system known as PhilSys, also known as National ID System.
Right. That's the same thing that we have, yo. National ID system. So you see that it's not just the idea of the Jamaican government. It's a global initiative. That's what we're proving, right, by bringing out these different articles, yo. It's a global thing, yo. Right, one.
Fine. So I say Budget Secretary Benjamin Diokno in March 2018 said the system will aid in the delivery of government services and reduce fraudulent transactions if implemented.
That's the exact same thing that we just read for the article pertaining to the NID. So
you can say everybody is in sync with
yeah,
the system.
everybody is using the same rhetoric, yo, because the rhetoric is coming from one source, and that source is the United Nations, yo.
Fine.
Every country is using the same rhetoric to convince them people that this is the way to go.
Fine.
Right?
See, he said the Philippines is one out of only 9 countries in the world that does not have a national ID system in place yet.
Right.
Which is the key word to note there.
Right.
See, while proponents of the bill argue it will improve government services in the Philippines, examples from other countries show the many functions of a national ID beyond government services.
Right.
What do other countries use their national ID systems for? Right? China is currently creating the world's most powerful facial recognition system, which aims to match a citizen's face with his or her photo with 90% accuracy.
ID photo.
Yes, like it. ID photo with 90% accuracy.
See that now? So that's perfect surveillance of your population, yo.
Fine.
See? So that's one of the things where they use the national ID for. China is using it for what? For total surveillance of the population, and China have a population of about 1.3 billion, the article say, yo.
Fine.
See? So that's only one thing where they want to use it for.
Them even bring out an article the other day say, China is implementing RFID technology within them cars.
Right.
See, and they must show you that with such technology, the AI can map traffic data. So they can tell you how heavy a flow of traffic is in particular sector. They can track your cars and bring out all the benefits of it. But them now bring out the underlying basically
the chop.
Exactly, and disadvantage of it, man. See?
Read from that part there.
So, continuing, so according to reports, the system aids to track wanted suspects and improve public administration, among other purposes.
Right.
Apart from this, China also plans to digitalize the existing national ID card to streamline government processes and promote paperless transactions.
Exactly. So that's exactly what we're going on right now.
Correct.
See, but we'll see if we can find any more. Alright. Malaysia.
So, alright, Malaysia, centralized information storage, cash, travel. Say Malaysia's national ID card of MyCard was the first government issued multi-purpose smart card and the first dual interface ID to be issued in the world. Its dual interface allows the card to be read by physical sensors and used in transactions, while its advanced chip and biometric technology aids users in both government and private sector transactions. In particular, its embedded chip allows it to be used in government service centers and to be accessed by card acceptance devices. This allows for data processing, file management, and storage of large amounts of information. Right?
Alright, so just this and that one here.
So it said, MyCard is also considered a driving license and a travel document, as it is used hand in hand with the Malaysian international passport for exit and entry in the country.
Right.
My card also functions as a reloadable cash purse,
Right.
which can be used in government agencies, patrol stations, toll booths, and public transport systems. It can also function as an ATM card at designated banks and allows the user to access up to 3 bank accounts.
Right. The paragraph.
In healthcare, it is used to store medical records and health information such as blood type, allergies, implants, and prescriptions, among others.
Exactly. So when your ID card has store so much information, seeing it's storing your health records, you use it for your financial transaction, you use it for your driver's license and your passport. Seeing that's total surveillance the government have over every service what each citizen do. Seeing, and that's what they want to implement worldwide, yo. Seeing, people don't realize, say, yo, this thing is not about improving your lives only, yo. It's about improving the government's control over you and the elite's control over each government, right? All right. So we're just going to bring out 2 articles to show that cashless is also the way to go. So not only with digitalizing identification, you're also digitalizing cash payments, yo.
Let me get a quick precept. He said, this is Ezekiel 28:2. Son of man, say unto the prince of Tyrus, thus saith the Lord God, because thine heart is lifted up, and thou hast said, I am a God, I sit in the seat of God, in the midst of the seas, yet thou art a man and not a God. Thou set thine heart as the heart of God. So this is a means where you see them must set them heart as the heart of the Heavenly Father, man. Because they might try to bring across this thing across the whole globe, forget what? Control you. See? And they might get control with a certain sense of efficiency and precision where they can basically monitor everything. They can even wipe you out like that, man. It's like you never in existence. See? It said, behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. There is no secret that they can hide from thee. When you look into how them have this system set up, as with the brother they are going to the blockchain, you see say everything are matched to the other, and they might implement it in a certain way where basically everything be calculated with a certain level of precision. You say, oh, there is no secret them can hide. You can hide from them. They might monitor everything. All the information where they might gather is for full monitoring of the whole entire populace. You see, countless examples come out with the NSA, the CIA, even with my brother Edward Snowden. They might bring out, and this is another level where the so-called white man are trying to take it to. You see me? They say, with thy wisdom and with thine understanding thou hast gotten thee riches, and hast gotten gold and silver into thy treasures. By thy great wisdom and by thy traffic hast thou increased thy riches, and thine heart is lifted up because of thy riches. Therefore, thus saith the Lord God, because thou hast set thine heart as the heart of God. Just stop this one. See? So by them wisdom, you see how them are gain them riches. Them basically put everything under suppression right now. Because when them have such a liberty over all the transactions that you make, them have liberty over basically controlling your moves and your means of progression. You see me? Yeah.
Looks like we can just download it and flip it.
Can.
Yeah, man. So back to the article. Let's bring this out.
So back to this article in that's nic.com. It says should your
INC.com.
INC, right? It says should your business consider going cashless? It sounds like a marketing strategy. It says retailers are increasingly refusing to accept cash as payment. There are pros and cons associated with the move that you should consider before following suit.
Right.
In the winter of 2016, Michelle Gauthier, founder and CEO of the fast casual restaurant chain Mulberry and Vine, was stunned when a local New York eatery refused to accept her money. Gauthier had wandered into Fuku, the famed chicken sandwich imperium launched by serial restaurateur David Chong, where the restaurant had recently gone cashless. At first, I thought it was the weirdest thing I ever heard, Gauthier recalls, but then I realized If David Chung thinks this is a good idea, there must be something to it. Fast forward to 2018, and Gautier's business also refused to accept cash at all 3 of its New York City locations. Try to hand over a wad of notes to the cashier, and customers will be redirected to a series of signs announcing that credit, debit, and mobile are now the only acceptable forms of payment since introducing the measure in 2016. She says sales have spiked, eclipsing 8 million in 2017 alone. It was single-handedly the best decision I ever made, adds Gautier, noting the benefits of going cashless include faster transaction speeds.
Right, and when you go further upon that, that's the idea, saying promoting a cashless society, saying because when you digitalize cash transactions, saying then they can easily monitor them, right? Saying they have a digital footprint for all of the things that we do, right? Saying let's read the last article, we can bring out the preset and wrap up.
Even in the banks, right now, if you go in the banks, some of the banks such as NCB, they have a note say, all check transaction will no longer be collected by the tellers. You have to basically deposit in at the ATM.
Right.
See? So this is business life that go. Say cashless payments are just a ticket for future festivals. Cashless payment systems are increasingly being used at big events, which could improve patrons' experience and increase revenues for the organizers and vendors. Event organizers are confident that over the next 3 to 5 years, many events will no longer accept cash payments. But they also agree that education is required, as some patrons are reluctant to switch from traditional cash and card payments. Electronic platforms can speed up transaction times, eliminate long and slow queues, and enable vendors to sell more products at a lower cost. Cashless systems also provide festival operators with a flood of data to help improve future events.
Right, and we see that implemented by Sumfest this year. Sumfest going cashless this year, promoting the use of a MasterCard to pay for your ticket and get 20% off. And the last line say, saying the cashless systems also provide festival operators with a flood of data. Right? So previously, when you just pay by cash, no one can say that no one can have proof that you were there unless they take a picture. But when you use a cashless mean in order to get your ticket, right, that's a digital footprint right there. Right, people can easily prove that you are at that event. Right, again, regulation, and also surveillance. That's the whole aim of this digitalized system. That's what we're bringing out in this lesson. The digital identity and also digital economics. And
just to add to what I said, you watch a movie a couple of years ago where basically the same technology they might use for cashless, where them have you pay via your card or whatever for going at the event. Then they also implement a wristband with a RFID chip on it where you can monitor your movements within the party. And them say that provide more security in case anything happens to that individual. Them can basically narrow down a search to who can basically be have an impact on that individual life.
Right.
Understand? So this is Revelation chapter 13 verse 16. And he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name.
Exactly, and that's the end goal. The end goal is to implement the RFID microchip, which is the mark of the beast, which we've been bringing out for years now. That's the end all be all of the whole system that they're setting up. The digital framework, for the for identification, and digital framework for your cash transactions. Is bringing in the RFID microchip, right? Because the RFID microchip is a digital device, therefore it needs a digital framework in order to be effective.
So continue. Say, here is wisdom. Let him that had understanding call the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666.
Right.
This is Psalms chapter 64 verse 5. They say, they encourage they encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privily. They say, who shall see them?
Right.
They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search. Both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep.
Exactly. See, and the scripture perfectly speak about what they're doing. Seeing with this digital framework, you know. Seeing setting up a trap for the population, you know. Seeing the other thing as well bring out.
Yeah. This is book of Daniel chapter 8 verse 25. And through his policy also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand. And he shall magnify himself in his heart. And by peace shall destroy many. He shall also stand up against the prince of princes, but he shall be broken without hand.
Right, see, he said through his policy man cause craft to prosper you. In policy is what? To create a digital framework so it can totally have surveillance and regulation over you.
Right.
See? So, and he magnify them art. Why? Because when you have this scene, you're omniscient. You can know all things. When you can collect data from everybody through a digital platform, see, and you can monitor everything on a real-time basis. That's another reason why they're bringing even 5G technology. Them launched in the US next year, right? So they can always collect data on a real-time basis, so they can monitor and track people's movements, seeing the movement of traffic in the city, your personal movement toward the day, because the watch will track you, your smartwatch tracking you, your smartphone tracking you, seeing if objects in your house are track you, seeing all of that transmit data in a real time, you know. Seeing, so if when you go out, you're using a digital form of payment, you're using a digital form of identification for government services and private sector services, seeing, so everything when you do leaves a digital footprint, you know. Seeing, and all that culminating in what? In you getting chipped. Right? So what I'm saying is, if you don't get this RFID microchip, you won't have access to all these different things. Because what? They have a digital framework already set up, perfectly enclosed around you. Seeing, so if you don't take it, seeing, then what? You get locked out of society, yo. Because they're not accept cash anymore. See, you're not gonna be able to use any other ID except digital IDs. So therefore you're gonna be forced to take the RFID microchip, yo. That's the end all be all of the whole thing, yo. See? Anything else I want to bring out?
I'm just bring out this. It says, this is Daniel chapter 11 verse 36. And the king shall do according to his will, and he shall exalt himself and magnify himself above every god, and shall speak marvelous things against the God of gods, and shall prosper till indignation be accomplished. For that is determined shall be done.
Right.
See? Because the king of this current society is Babylon, the leader of Babylon, and whoever control them, and they magnify themselves and exalt themselves against the powers that be, which are gods, which you can basically classify them as the other powers in the earth, and they exalt themselves against every father. But at the end of the day, the indignation will come upon them, which is the righteous anger of the Heavenly Father, and it will accomplish which the Heavenly Father decreed to be. So them enterprise now will reach further than what the Heavenly Father stated for God.
Right.
But you can see them agenda where they go towards right now, man, setting themselves up as the Heavenly Father, as a power, comparing themselves to the Heavenly Father.
Right. So with that, I hope this lesson was edifying, to the Spirit. The Rakak, that's the Holy Spirit. Again, we say, Kalalalamla, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, Hashem Rakak, Kodash. And double honors to our apostles and elders, Shalom to bury them out there. And then I was in the Bible. The video was recorded sideways. So we're going to download it and re-upload it, in the proper landscape format. Right? So, Shalom.
Shalom.